Alright, Ben, before we talk about pitching, Korean baseball fans are a little bit frustrated with the defense. What is going on with the Toronto infield? I mean, is it how it's going to be rest of the year?
No, I don't think the Blue Jays defense is going to be like this the rest of the year at all. We've seen consistent play from Cavan Biggio. We've seen a lot of consistent play from Bo Bichette. They admit that they have to be better, and a couple of plays have really sped up on them, unfortunately, and they've been magnified. Blue Jays offense also, because they're not hitting and they're not scoring the runs that we expect the Blue Jays to perform, like, magnifies the situation. So the margin of error for the Toronto Blue Jays right now defensively is very, very thin. Unfortunately, when you make a couple of mistakes within a given ball game and you're not playing in sync, that could mean the difference between a win and a loss. But I would pump the brakes. Remember, we're dealing with guys that are 23, 25 years of age. They're trying to get acclimated to a position. For Cavan Biggio, it's the first time that he's been asked to play any length of time over at third base. And Bo knows that he's got to be better at shortstop. And Bo just hasn't been the same shortstop since his knee injury going back to last year. So I think he's trying to find out a lot about his own body. And now, as this grind of a regular season has arrived, they're trying to put him in better positions to where his body isn't going to need to move laterally so much, especially to the backhand side.
Okay. Not just about today's game, but overall, 5 starts for Hyunjin Ryu. He only has one W under his name, but what's your assessment on Hyunjin Ryu's start of the season so far?
I thought at the start of the season he was a better version of Hyunjin Ryu than we saw even in his first go-around with the Toronto Blue Jays and last year. And I know it was a shortened season and very awkward, right? Where we had the ramp up, the shutdown, and then kind of an escalated pace to get starting pitching and the depth that's needed for Hyunjin Ryu going last year. I was blown away at how crisp the fastball looked. Maybe a couple more clicks in velocity at times that we've seen from him. Now maneuvering through a schedule where he's getting that bonus day of rest where he loves to work on. I thought that stuff just plays better. And Hyunjin Ryu, to me, is almost like a mad scientist, the way that he develops a game plan, the way that he attacks an opponent's lineup, but also the surgical precision beyond even the pitch execution. For me, it's where he starts on the mound, how he lands. The body is always in sync. And if you look down at the mound, there's not a lot of scuff marks and a lot of really tear-up marks on the mound. It's all the same landing spot. It's all the same push-off point. So to me, that's an indication that Hyunjin Ryu is really in sync and throwing the best. And that's what we've seen so far.
Unfortunately, Hyunjin Ryu hasn't pitched as a Blue Jay at Rogers Center. We don't exactly know how the fan base thinks of Hyunjin Ryu because he's never at his really home stadium right now. You have a better feel for how things are, how he's being perceived by the Toronto Blue Jays fans. Can you tell us, what kind of reception he would get and what the reaction that you are getting from Blue Jays fans back home in Toronto?
Well, right now, the reaction from Blue Jay fans in Toronto, in the United States, worldwide, is glowing. That they have got a guy that they trust to give the ball every 5th or 6th day, what have you, and you know you've got a shot to win that ball game by just scoring a couple of runs. That's the dominance that Hyunjin Ryu has already displayed as a Toronto Blue Jay. And the Blue Jays won an ace. They needed somebody to be that stalwart in the rotation, and Hyunjin is that guy. The reception at Rogers Center will be electric. That first start, whenever it happens, and we hope that it's going to be sooner rather than later, that will be a moment. A moment deserved for Hyunjin Ryu, an opportunity for the fans to finally welcome him with open arms, to a new country and especially a new ballpark where I've been there when that place is rocking. And trust me, Rogers Center is ready to welcome Hyunjin Ryu as their own.
One last question. Inconsistent so far performance from the team. That's how I believe last year started as well. It's a young team. Do you think this team would have a pretty good run in them right now?
I really do. And you look at where the Blue Jays have been placed in their schedule, right? You've got the Red Sox. You've got a really good Tampa Bay Rays team. You already have a series against the New York Yankees that starts in the Bronx. You just don't know what this Blue Jays team is like because the level of competition has been really, really stiff for this team. The good news is they're right around the 500 mark right now, and you just get past this 20 mark point in the season, and they don't have the depth of the lineup that they've had. They've only had Teoscar Hernandez for a handful of games. You haven't even seen a swing from George Springer yet. So that lineup is going to get a lot deeper and going to be attacked by an opponent a lot differently moving forward too. But that means that the Blue Jays are going to be better, and there's going to be more consistency, better depth period for major league caliber players, and that's just going to ease everybody from a bullpen, starting pitching wise. And I think it's going to be an opportunity for the Blue Jays to really take off once they figure out who they are and they get back to full strength. I think the best baseball is still yet to come from this team.